When I was pulling this engine out of that old motorhome, there were two issues that were major obstacles. I'll show you what they were. The first issue was the design of the boom I was using. I used the boom from my auger here on my post hole auger. I just dropped the head and I used this portion. Well, it has this huge arc in it. So ideally you would want your boom to just come straight out. And that would have given me a lot more room for lifting that engine, but with this huge arc in it, it kept hitting the firewall and all kinds of things here. As a matter of fact, I just noticed it's pretty well marked up. But anyway, there were some comments about the boom, you know, kind of the design of it. Well, that's why it was, because it was just a makeshift thing, but that's what Arkies do. The other issue was this guy right here. This thing was sandwiched in there. It had the cross member going underneath, and then it had an angle iron up here. You couldn't get to the bolts to the cross member to drop the cross member out because there was a holding tank in the way, and I didn't want to get into black water or even gray water at that point. But yeah, so that was a problem. I had to hack that out with a Sawzall, but then there was a big angle iron up on the top side that was locking it in, and I wound up having to cut some of the floor out to get it high enough to get the thing out. And there was a few times that I thought, you know, I should just unbolt the transmission from the engine, but I was on a mission to take this thing out as one unit. And when I get something in my head, I'm like a stubborn old Missouri mule. I just ain't no quit in me, you know. So I just kept battling it, but I didn't think it was that bad. Every time I'd go to yank it out, it was just one more thing, you know. I discovered that cross member was on the top hitting, and then the exhaust was hitting, and then you got to take the starter off, and then it was hitting the motor mount. Got to take the motor mount supports out. It was just one thing after another after you thought you were just almost there, you know. So yeah, I struggled with it, but people like to watch me struggle. That's all part of the deal around here. Welcome back to Whalen Wire's Old Iron. Hey, welcome to Rat Rodding. My name's Whalen Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel. My stinger's stuck. Thank you. I'll tell you what, I'm about to give up on GoPros. This thing just shuts off whenever it wants to. And I've got it set to never shut off, but it does it anyway. And every one I've ever had does that. Sick of it, I tell you. So I don't know how much of what I just did you're all gonna see. Oh, this truck. Most of you who watch this channel on a regular basis or semi-regular basis or check in once a year or whatever, most of you know this truck caught on fire. This truck that I've owned for 36 years. Broke my heart. But, you know, I yanked the engine, cleaned it up, painted the firewall, put the engine back in. I got to redo a couple things. I've got a couple issues, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But I've been waiting on a hood and a windshield. So anyway, I've been in search for a hood, and I ordered one, and it came, and it had a big dent in the top, and I really didn't want an aftermarket anyway. So I put an ad on, I had an ad on Craigslist. Didn't think anything was going to come of it. And then Sunday evening about 6 o'clock, guy called me and said, hey, you need a hood? I got a couple of them. And I go, well, when can I look at it? And he said, anytime. And I said, how about now? So I rushed out there, and he had one laying out under a pine tree, covered with pine needles, but it was up off the ground, and there's not a speck of rust on it anywhere. I mean, it's nice underneath and it is straight. And it's got a few little blemishes. It'll just sand it down and prime it, and man, that thing's gonna be ready to go. So yeah, I went and looked at it, and I was just ecstatic when I saw it. I was just beside myself, because I looked at a few others that were, well, pretty bad, you know, and well, several others. I was just having trouble. Kink, they're the kink, you know, because people want all the hinges. Some people say, why don't you put the hood extension on there and all that? No, just all the hinges like you're supposed to, and you won't have any problems. I had that truck for 36 years, and I never kinked the hood. So anyway, I asked the old boy, what do you got to have for it? And he looked at me and kind of, in a formal question, said, 50 bucks? And I said, no, I can't do that, but I'll give you 100 for it. Okay, he said. He was okay with that. And as I always say, a good deal is when both parties are happy and has nothing to do with the monetary factor. Yeah, we're maybe finally going to be on our way with this thing. Like I said, I got to address a couple of issues on this thing, but I need to get it out of my shop, man. I did not intend for this to be my summer project. I wanted that to be my summer project. I need to get a fuel system on that and get some seats in it, and on and on and on, and that's what I want to do, but this is what I have to do. Sometimes they're not synonymous. Yeah, I was telling my daughter, she never heard the expression, lick your calf over. I wonder how many of you out there have heard that. There's an expression we use down in the Ozark Mountains in southern Missouri where I grew up, and that's what they say. Yeah, boy, gonna have to lick his calf over on that one. That's when you do something that don't turn out right and you got to do it again. They call that licking your calf over, because where that comes from is a newborn calf. A cow will lick her newborn, lick it dry when it's first born. So that's where that expression comes from. And I don't know who in the world thought of that, but I said one the other day, I said, first your money, then your clothes. And my daughter had never heard that, and she went and researched it and found out that originated in Springfield, Missouri, right where she grew up. So, but she'd never heard it until I said it. So anyway, I'm gonna have to lick my calf over on this thing. Yeah, I've got a leak of the cross member. Keeps filling up with antifreeze down there, and I can't see a leak, but I'm sure it's got to be the water pump. And also, oh man, I had this thing out on an engine stand, and I stabbed that intake manifold, and I thought I did such a good job sealing that thing up. Oh my goodness gracious. And the front looks so good, and the back end leaks. So I'm gonna have to pull it off, and I'm gonna use the good stuff. I got a big old tube of it over here, and I'm gonna lay out a bead in there, but it's just another chore, you know. It's like 1 step forward and 3 back. I gotta tear all this stuff off here and reseal the water pump, and yeah, it's my own doing, I guess. You know, I just didn't do a good enough job the first time, so I gotta lick it over. That's the way it goes. First your money, then your clothes. All right, I got to get this thing out of here right now because I've got another task that I need to take care of. I'm going to put that hood back in the truck because I'm going to have to haul it to a body shop anyway. So let's do that, guys. You guys grab one side and I'll grab the other, and we'll throw it back in the truck. That's a good deal right there. You know, today's May the 31st, and this is the first time this year at my elevation that the temperatures reach 70 degrees. First time. I'm going to take a big risk, and I'm going to put this away. I don't know if I'll get away with it or not, but I'm going to give her a try. Yep. talking about. Well, I'd like to work on this thing right now, but I just absolutely cannot. I've got some things I got to do first. And I'm about to bring another project in here, but while I'm thinking about it, I may as well mention this shop is an atrocity, a disgrace, an abomination even. I've got to clean this shop up. I haven't cleaned it up since I started working on the burn victim out there. So, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I've got one more thing I got to do. I got to put some new blades on my mower. I got to mow along my driveway. Try to make it look like somebody lives here. This place looks abandoned. Hey, but one way to do more blades. Let's get right up in there. Get on down and up in there, boy. That's it. Ain't no shortcuts. Once you take it off the tractor. We'll put these on here just for a little moral support. Mortal support. I don't think the hydraulics will fail, but you know, one must be safe, mustn't one? I always put anti-seize on these things. We'll see how much good it does. Now, well, apparently the anti-seize might have helped. There she went. Oh, you little bugger. All right, it's gonna go. It's going real easy, actually. There we are. Working on this thing makes me think of The Harmless Farmer. If you ever get feeling sorry for yourself, go watch that channel, YouTube channel, The Harmless Farmer. Man, I seen that guy poke a bolt through a hole and reach on the other side and thread the nut on with his toes. While he's holding the bolt with his toes. Amazing what that guy can do. Drives a semi-tractor all day long, hooks equipment up and fires a pistol and anything he wants to do. It's absolutely inspiring. Check him out. Harmless Farmer. Well, let's go get some blades. Let's go do some damage. I take a couple hours. I have to mow it again tomorrow, because everywhere the tire track goes, it'll stand back up. Gotta come back and do it again. Gotta come back and lick that calf over again. Oh boy. And I want to jump into that 73 square body and get that engine buttoned up, get the water pump reset, get the intake reset. But I need to go to town first, and I'm going to show you why. Oh man, I need to get on that weed eater. Look at that mess. This place has just gotten away from me. I can't keep up with it anymore. I just have to follow the advice of my friend NC Automan. He's told me, just do what you can, let the low end drag. All right, I got to take this wheel into town and get a tire mounted on it. I don't think this one's going to hold much air. But the reason being is I need one more tire, wheel and tire, to make this thing a roller. I've only got 3. And that one, man, I don't know why, but that thing's got hydro weight in it. Water or calcium or something. But I took it down there and the guy said, I ain't touching that thing. Anyway, yeah, I gotta get a tire on this thing, get it a roller and get it out of there, because hold on to your hats, folks. I have sold this truck. I know. I don't ever sell them. I just keep dragging them home. But the thing is, I got that short box square body Chevy in there, and this is a much more interesting truck than that. But I got too many projects. I got that Dirty Dozen. I'm still working on that burnt truck, and then I got a bunch of work I need to do on the Impala. I got to, on my 63 SS over there, I got to rebuild all the suspension on that thing, and I'm hoping, if I don't set nothing else on fire around here, I'm really wanting to take that thing on a road trip this fall. I want to drive that Impala cross country, but we'll see how much I get done. Anyway, to make room for the short box, I have decided to part with this one because I got a really good home for it. Cousin Rich, he's been over here and helped me box in this building. He's a great guy, and he's helped me out a lot. And he said if I ever decide to get rid of it, he'd like to have it, because I can't remember the story. He's got some kind of memory of riding in one of those with his uncles or somebody. Anyway, riding to work, or I'll have to get him to tell the story. But yeah, brings back memories for him. And he's going to take it a little different direction than I was going to, I guess. I had gotten some 17 and 18-inch wheels for it, and I was going to lower it down and put those bigger wheels in there and kind of fill up those wheel wells a little bit. And but anyway, I think he's thinking maybe along the lines of more original. But whatever he wants to do, it'll be good. He's a meticulous guy, and it'll have a really good home. And then I can you know, not have that hanging over me. I was really interested in this truck and liking this truck, but I've got too many projects, and the main thing is to find them a good home, right? And that's what I try to do. Of course, here's old Fred sitting here neglected. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I got to rebuild the suspension in this Impala right here. It's pretty bad. I didn't know how bad it was, but still last summer. Anyway, yeah, I got to load that tire up and take it in, and load the wheel and tire and get a tire mounted on it. So let's do that. Yeah, I could live here. Well, we got to go upsy daisy a little bit. I'm trying to figure that. I don't see. Oh, there's the lug nut. Wow. Can't believe I didn't lose the lug nut, knowing me. Oh, I almost forgot. Dodge are left-handed, these old ones. The old Dodge cars in the 50s had a lug bolt. Instead of a lug nut, it had a lug bolt that you screwed in. Remember that? Because I almost remember twisting them off until my dad caught me and told me to go the other way. I was probably about 12. Okay, we got us a roller. Somebody tell me what those wheels came off of. I look at them and I think like a Crown Vic or something like that, you know, but because Ford Dodge interchange, well, they used to back in this era. But yeah, somebody tell me what they are. I don't think, well, I know they're not original for this pickup because they don't have any hubcap retainers on here. Yeah, like I said, that Dodge is a more interesting truck than this one. I meant to show you the interior while I was out there, but I've got video on that truck. It's nice, though, really nice. But it's going to a good home. I'm happy about that. And I just can't have one more project hanging over my head. I need to kind of thin them down to something manageable. And you know, I've only got to be realistic. I've only got a few more years left to get done whatever I'm going to do, and I'd like one of them to be this. So we'll see how it goes. But next I want to bring that thing in. But Lord, Mr. Ford, I've got to clean this shop up first. So I'm gonna do that. I won't make you suffer through that. I'll turn the camera off and start doing a little bit of tidying up in here. Yeah. Well, a little change of direction. My body man was up here this morning, Harmon, and he said, well, I'll just come up next Tuesday and prep this hood. It's got a couple little dings in it. You're gonna have to use a very small amount of mud, but he's going to, yeah, he's gonna help me get this thing fixed up and get it in primer. And then we'll take it to the paint guy. I'm not going to paint it. That is not my forte. Oh, I could shoot some clear coat on an old rat rod, but I wouldn't try something like this, because I got to look out that windshield and look at that hood every day. It don't need an old redneck paint job. It needs a good paint job. So we're going to do that anyway. Yeah. I thought I was just going to take it to town, but he said, no, you got all the stuff here. We'll just fix it. What did I hear running outside? I hear something running outside. I got to go into town, but I hear something sitting out here idling. Oh, and I hear an old Power Glide whine. No mistaking that old Power Glide. It sounds louder. That transmission sounds louder than the engine. Yeah, I think we'll just see if this whole thing will make it to town and back. It's on my bucket list to drive this thing to North Carolina and see Mr. Heavy Chevy. We'll see how that goes. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for this time. Whoa. All right. I hope you enjoyed the video. I sure enjoy having you here. And if you're kind of new around here, maybe go ahead and smash that subscribe button. That'd help me out a little bit. Anyway, my family, I love you. To you subscribers, oh, I sure do appreciate you. See you next time.